This is by far the most important concept you will ever understand in business. 90% of businesses that fail, they typically fail because they don't have a strategy to compound their growth. And what I mean by compound their growth is when you acquire a customer, your growth is going to come from the repetitive transactions that customer makes. Unless you are the type of business where if somebody buys something from you once, they will never ever buy from you again because they have no need to, and their problem is 100% solved. That is a very rare business. And those businesses, we call them one-hit wonders. Unless you go viral and the whole world talks about it and you don't have to acquire the marketplace, your profit lies there. But if you are a service business and you have your average customer comes back to you 2, 3, 4 times a year, you are going to make your profit typically on the second or third visit. Now, the question is, how do we make those second and third visits happen? You typically sell the second visit on the first visit, right? But the revenue you make from that very first visit is typically the revenue you need to cover your ad spend and your labor and your product cost so that you can acquire that customer. You are buying a customer. Do not be fooled. When you are advertising and growing your business, your main goal is I need to buy as many customers as I can because if I have one profitable customer or I have 1,000 customers that are still going to come in, I'm going to profit way more on 1,000 people that are going to come in down the line versus the one person I made a $200 profit on. So I'll drive this home for you. I grew a business from about $3 million to $89.1 million in 12 months because this business came to me and said, Victor, we are going to make a profit on this customer in 6 years. Because our product is a product they buy month over month over month over month. And once they buy it, they typically never cancel it. This was in the insurance space. Concept stays the same, right? Most people, if they come into a business to transact, if I'm going to get somebody to mow my freaking lawn, I'm not going to just mow my lawn once. I'm going to pay them again to mow it later as long as I like what they did, right? If I go into a med spa to get a treatment, I'm not going to just clean my face once. I'm not going to just get Botox once. I'm typically going to come back and make sure that I maintain and keep up with the image and the results that I'm looking for. If I go to a chiropractor, I'm not going to just get one quick adjustment and solve my problems forever. I'm going to come on a maintenance plan. And so they said, Victor, we are going to make money on year number 6. This is how much we can spend to acquire that customer. We brought their cost to acquire a customer from $2,700 down to about $250. They needed it to be below $600. They're like, $600, we make a profit on year 6. We're good. You can spend as much money as you want. Got it down to $250. It was even better. We went from spending $30,000 a month to $500,000 a month 45 days after we took over. And they sold 12 months later for $89.1 million because they were the fastest growing company in their industry, capturing market share like there was no tomorrow. When an investor buys a business, an investor is buying the asset or assets, right? You have your physical assets, and then you have the assets that actually cash flow, which is typically your consumers, right? Your customers is the biggest asset a business will ever have. And so when an investor goes to buy a business, they put a dollar mark on every customer. And they say, I am willing to pay anywhere between 3 to 10 times the average revenue of that customer in a year because I'm going to make my money back 2 years later. That's why you have investors willing to step into a business, pay 3 times more than that business makes in a year, because the next year they're going to either double the revenue per customer, double the customers, or they're going to just hold on to the customers for a little bit longer so they can actually make their profit later. Now, if you're not an investor, you don't have to wait 2 years. You don't have to wait 6 years. But God forbid, give yourself give yourself one visit, right? Give yourself one extra month. Give yourself one extra week. Bring somebody in the door, give them a great experience, make sure you transact just enough to make your expenses back. And I promise you, you will have more leverage than 90% of your competition. You will acquire the marketplace faster than anybody else. And a lot of times, 9 out of 10 times, if you just have a basic process and strategy, you will make a 2, 3, 4x profit on that first transaction. That's probably my second tip. Have a strategy. Most people are just like, come get this discount and then tell me you want to buy everything else. So I'm not going to sell you on it. I'm not going to educate you on it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to tell you what you need. And if you don't buy it, then like you're a shitty lead. Doesn't work that way. So that's my tip. Um, you will make 5 times more, up to 10 times more profit from a customer after they are a customer than you will on the first transaction trying to make them a customer.